Hey, how's everybody doing? Thank you for tuning in to Big Country Boy Bassin. Today, I just brought out a few lures. Wanted to talk to you about, since, well, fishing season is kind of like not in an end of the season, but this is the fall season. And when you fish the fall season, typically, man, that's the time when the big bass are coming out. When you can catch those bigger bass than what you normally would catch in the summertime. So I'm going to be talking about a few lures, such as spinnerbaits that I have in my hand right here. And I have different colors. We're going to be talking about size of the spinnerbaits versus larger spinnerbaits versus smaller spinnerbaits, all right? And we're going to be talking about the blades of the spinnerbaits as well too. Willow leaf blades versus Colorado blades. And our double blades, like you see here, versus a single blade. And that's a nickel blade, you see? And the color of it is white, as opposed to some of your brighter colors as well, all right? And your red colors as well too, all right? And your double hooks as well too. Double hook is for if you miss, how many times are you out fishing? And typically the fish will hit, and it'll hit this first hook, but you'll miss it. Because a lot of times they'll hit the back, and known as short striking. So by having a little trailer right here on the end of that lure, this will allow you so you don't miss as many fish, all right? And you got to make sure your hooks are sharp, man, because a lot of times as fishermen, I'm not exempt from this. I'll get a lure out of the box, and I'll be so excited, man. I'll tie it on, and I want to go fishing. And my dad has always told me, you got to sharpen your hooks, boy. Sometimes when you go out here and you're so, eager to go fishing, you don't sharpen your hooks. What happens is you lose fish. And it could be that one of your biggest fish of a lifetime, and you lose it. So whose fault is that? And help me out. I mean, am I the only one, that you get so excited about going fishing that you don't sharpen your hooks? Leave it in the comment. Let me know, all right? This here, color red spinnerbait, it kind of resembles like a crawfish, something that typically out here on the Connecticut River and other lakes as well too. You kind of got to get as close as you can to the natural feed that fish bite off on. So and that's what typically I try to do. I try to throw colors like that. This would work in stained water as well too, especially after a rainstorm, where the clarity of the water is not as clear looking, so you can't kind of see down at the bottom. You want to throw like flashy colors. So this would be considered like a flashy color coming through the water. Let me see what else I got here. I think I have something like this too as well. Colors that are really bright and that stand out. All right, it's the kind of stuff that you want to throw. This here is the Colorado blade, as opposed to willow leaf blades. All right, you can see the difference. If you fish these slow, they make, I think it's like a thump as you're coming through the water, and I think it's more vibration. That's me personally. Other fishermen out there may, not agree with that, and to each its own. The willow leaves here, I think, they will make a lot of vibration, but typically more more vibration, but also a flash. I think the flash is a little bit greater on the little leaves. But and you want to use colors like this too, like kind of like a white color as well too. That works good, especially out here in the river. And you got the shiny, all right? Shininess, you know, with the sun reflecting off of this, I think it sends more of a reflection in the water as well too, as it's coming through. And the slower you fish these, the better, more vibration on the rod. I think the better it is, you know, that fish can actually hear it and then grab a hold to it. That'd be my guess. And typically that does happen. Then we can move into the chartreuse colors as well too. Something like this. All right. We get that chartreuse around it. And with that one gold blade as well too. These are all good lures to use, especially right now in the fall, summertime too as well. But now, especially with the bigger lures, I would kind of size down to a smaller as well too. Why smaller versus bigger? Well, smaller the lure, I think that the fish, in his own mind, if I were a fish, I would probably go after a smaller lure. Small, you know, talking in spinnerbaits. Why? Because you can overpower it, okay? Versus a bigger lure, all right? You know, it's too much work. Too big, I mean, unless you're really hungry. But now, because we're in the fall season, fish are typically, they're not chasing as much. They're looking for small stuff that they can overpower. So I would typically go with something like this, all right? As opposed to this too. I mean, they'll still hit this too, but chances are probably get more hits on something that's small as well too. And something that has a lot of color to it, especially typically right now in the river. So this is a good choice, all right? And you can fish these in, 4-pound test line? I would go 4-pound test line as opposed to with this here too. This would, you know, typically bigger spinnerbait, so, you know, anywhere between like the 8-10-pound test line, something like this, something more like this. Or, you know, to each its own. But, yeah. That's what I would do. All right. Now, typically with these lures here, this is known as the buzzbait. Top water lure we're going to talk about now. Okay. And what it does, that's exactly what it does. As it's coming, as you're retrieving it through the water, this blade on top is going to propel and push water everywhere. The fish will hear the sound and they're going to look up and say, hey, what's going on? I need to bite this. What is that? All right. And as they see it coming through the strike zone, as it's coming through, making that little chime noise, they are going to grab and latch onto this like never before. All right. So that's the buzzbait, and that's midnight special black. These work well at nighttime, early morning, typically. You know, just as the sun is rising up, you want to have these on deck as well too. All black. Something about, if you could see, can you see that red? Those red eyes. Something about that. The fish go crazy with the red eyes. So, and I don't know why that is. Maybe you guys can leave something in the comments and tell me why the red eyes are make fish typically go crazy as opposed to, you know, some of the other lures that may not have a red eye or may have a green eye or whatever the case might be. But typically, yeah, you know, you'll definitely, I've had success off of these too as well. This double blade here, or buzzbait, if you can see here, it's got the holes in it. I think it's just to make water go through a lot more versus, you know, not having the holes in place. I just think that's all that it's for. And you can see here, I'm gonna test it out. So, yeah. So I think that, you know, these would work well. Any of these buzz baits we have here work really well. And the spinner baits would do well. So get you some of these, try it out, and let me know. All right. And yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what your experiences have been with these lures that I just, you know, talked about and all that good stuff. And yeah, well, I'm really curious, interested to know what your experience has been. All right. So with that said, leave me a post, comment, or whatever the case might be. Let me know, you know, if you had success on the Colorado blades as opposed to the willow leaf blades. You know, if you had success on certain sizes, maybe certain colors that you would typically use in the winter season as opposed to the summer months and all that good stuff. So let me know. And if you got any questions on how to clean out this box and keep it, this is a mess right now, but yeah, that happens. You know what we do typically as fishermen? We buy more stuff than we need. All these lures, and we never fish these lures, and we got them sitting in the box, and we're just cluttering up. So let me know if I'm the only one too that clutters up, which I'm pretty sure I'm not. But at any rate, y'all have a good day. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate your likes, subscribing, and for subscribing to the channel, my channel, Big Country Boy Bassin. Y'all have a great day, and yeah, catch as many fish as you can. Because if you don't, I will. Take care.